Well, it is lunchtime.
Right.
All right, guys, welcome to the second one of us TPC Scottsdale Facebook Live. This is Rob to my left. I'm Andy. We're teaching here at TPC Scottsdale Tour Academy. We're going to be available for the next half hour with any questions, comments, or concerns about your short game. So pretty much why we're doing a short game thing today is that I feel like that's kind of the most thing that never really gets talked about.
Yeah, a lot of people don't practice that much, right? It's one of those things that, hey, grab a bag of golf balls, go out and hit some shots, maybe drop 3 balls and hit 4 or 5 putts, but don't ever spend time working on chipping, working on pitching, working on putting, and that would be it.
Yeah, I mean, people have got to understand, if you want your scores to get better really fast, and let's say with very little effort, I would say, usually working on some part of your short game is going to help your score out most of the time.
Yeah, certainly, and then look for even the people that are just starting to play, look the idea of wherever, if you're within 30 yards of the green and you can chip a ball onto the green and putt twice, you will chew shots off your game in a hurry.
Oh, yes. You'll make birdies on par 5s finally. You actually par 3, and probably bogey or make a par on a par 4 most of the time. But, maybe kind of just open it with something first where what we kind of see most amateurs that struggle with. Maybe we'll start with chipping first.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of go in there. And while we're going through this, if you guys have any comments and questions of what we're doing, again, make sure you guys are liking this page and going to our Instagram pages at TPC Scottsdale and our Facebook page at TPC Scottsdale and our Facebook page at TOURAcademy TPC Scottsdale.
Right.
And then go like Rob's Twitter at Rashell Golf and then my Instagram at Andy Patnou Golf. And we post content on there daily, weekly, and again, we're 2 golf nerds that like what we do. So let's talk about chipping real quick if you want to kind of go from there.
Yeah, love it. Go ahead.
So honestly, the biggest thing I usually see with chipping first is that amateurs usually pick the wrong golf club to chip with. Now, that's because they see tour players on a daily basis on TV, and they're seeing tour players chip to really fast, really firm greens.
Right.
And usually when you see a tour player chip, it's like a short-sided shot, especially on a thick rough too.
Long grass.
Yeah, they wish they could chip out of this stuff every single day. Nice little tee up, like kind of
it's nice.
Bermuda rough. But for the most part, I don't know how you feel about this. 60-degree wedges is usually the first thing I see that gets out of an amateur's bag when they're trying to do a chip.
Yeah, everybody loves to try to hit the high, soft shot, and especially junior golfers, we see that a ton, and we actually encourage the kids that we work with, don't even put one in a bag for a while. I would say use a 52 or a 56, be good, be versatile with it, and when you kind of master that, then I would say you would graduate up into the next.
Yes, I think the idea of what we're trying to do in chipping is that we want to try and keep it on the ground or as low to the ground as we can most often,
Gotcha.
as long as we can do it, right? I mean, That's the idea. So, as you can see here, I don't have a 60-degree wedge. I actually have a 50-degree wedge, which is kind of like a gap wedge or somewhat close to a pitching wedge. So I would always suggest most amateurs to kind of go with like a pitching wedge, 9-iron, and or something that has really low loft, and just kind of treat it as if you're just kind of hitting a putt, just kind of with the lofted golf club.
Yeah, love it.
So if I was just going towards this pin over here, I'm not going to make a whole lot of motion. You can just kind of see it's kind of a small little, not too much effort into that shot, but there's a couple things that I'm doing there that most amateurs kind of set up either poorly or do something kind of weird in their swing. So setup-wise, one thing I usually see with amateurs, they kind of take their full swing setup into their short game setup.
Certainly, agreed.
So they usually come in with the ball that's pretty far wide, the shaft's kind of sometimes far back, or the stance width is too far wide, the shaft is too far back, and they kind of like playing the ball forward, maybe middle, and they kind of just make it too complicated. So usually the first thing I tell them is that let's get our stance width a little bit closer together, and I want them kind of setting up their weight left and also staying left throughout the entire motion. That's kind of a simple little setup and kind of feel throughout the entire thing. And then the ball position, especially if you're trying to keep it low, it doesn't go too far back, but we want to make sure it's back enough to make sure that we can still strike down on this little golf shot.
Yeah, and you're looking at leading edge here. So when you like if we hold this up, if you tilt the club back, you can see it's probably tough to see on the camera here. Maybe we'll
Move in.
Super close up so you guys can see this. When the shaft leans forward, you get the leading edge getting into the ground first. When you move the shaft back, this leading edge starts coming off the ground. A lot of times it's going to bounce up into the golf ball, cause little rocket shots or thins or sometimes heavies. That little forward press and being left, like Andy's talking about, just helps you get more solid contact.
Yes, we've all been there before. We were playing like ping pong golf on the green, going back and then forth when you first start playing golf. And it's just kind of how it's learning. But just like Coach Rob was saying, most of those thin shots and skull shots happen because you hit the leading edge with the golf ball. But that's sometimes come in handy, just like what's his face. I think Aaron Badley had like 13 putts on a back nine, using a sandwich, just hitting it out the leading edge.
So again, Andy Patnou, Rashell here at TPC Scottsdale. We're again doing our second Facebook Live. We're still working out the bugs. Also didn't say hi to Melinda and Stacy, our co-producers back there today, helping us out. They work in business development and social media here at TPC. So we're here to help you guys out. Any questions or comments, put them below. We're happy to like our page, all those things. Let us know if you want to see something. We'll get right back into it. So, Coach, hit him a shot.
Yeah, so we were talking about chipping again, and I just kind of walked through kind of stance width, where your weight should be, and where the ball position should be. So I'm aiming at this short side pin right over here. And I want you guys, again, noticing I'm not really hitting this thing that hard. I'm really just kind of letting the golf ball kind of shoot out and kind of roll more than it is in the air.
Coach, show them one where we see a lot with a lot of hands.
Ooh, okay.
This is a tough one. This is something that I think a lot of people are we equate with feel. Like our thought are that we have to go like this to get good feel with the golf shot. And Andy's doing a great job here, just using his shoulders.
Yeah, that's like my least favorite thing I get seen is like someone on the driver range going.
Yeah, so you have a lot of hands like that. It's really difficult to control the low point of your swing.
And I'm going to try to hit this one pretty solid with that. Lots of hand action. All right, so that came out a little hotter.
Yeah.
Really uncontrollable. And that's kind of where it comes from, though, Coach Rob, right? It's kind of, you think you're gaining feel by actually using your hands a lot, but what you're really doing is actually you're losing sense of where this thing
where
is.
The bottom of the club is really where the bottom of the swing is. You always want that thing to hit the same spot almost every time. It's a great way to, for you guys to practice and try it out at home. It's just, look, you can draw a line, or you just look at a tee in the ground or anything. Take some practice swings and feel where the bottom of that arc is. And really, golf ball should probably be just a little bit behind where that divot point is, and you're going to be nice descending blow.
And the funny thing is, I would say, like, be unique about it. Some guys like playing the ball a little bit more back, and some players a little bit more forward, but nothing that's kind of out of the norm, because if you're kind of bottoming out every single time in the same spot, but the ball is just too far back, okay, and just move that thing around. Kind of make it kind of your own little thing, too, at the same time. But the basics there, again, don't get too wide. Start with your weight left, hang left, and don't use a whole lot of hands. You mostly kind of a shoulder turn, rocking right and rocking left.
Yeah, I love that.
Right, and then I think the next big thing you usually see is grip pressure.
Yeah, right.
I mean, usually the biggest thing that what starts happening, we start getting this nice tight lie with an easy shot. We usually start seeing amateurs really grip the club really, really, really firm and really, really tight. So, I mean, I kind of like saying to some people is like, I want you to imagine you're holding like a tube of toothpaste here, and you're just barely squeezing the tube of toothpaste out. So it's not too light, but the thing is just coming out that way. I don't want to see it go and squirt out everywhere. So you have enough, grip tension to have control, but you don't have enough where you're losing control. So that's kind of something to goof around too. I kind of like having sometimes amateurs actually do something a little bit different, but I like having them sometimes actually hit chip shots where they don't even have thumbs on it.
Yeah, I love it.
Right, because
Using shoulders, right?
using shoulders and just kind of getting the idea is that the more you actually push your thumbs into the golf club, the more hands you're going to start usually using, and the more that club usually kind of speed up without you trying. So if you're kind of struggling sometimes blading shots a whole lot, or kind of using too much hands, or you just feel like you can't control the pace of your golf ball coming off your chip shot, take your thumbs up and kind of get your fingers kind of nice and firm a little bit, but you're still kind of using a little bit of your shoulders, but you're going to notice that you can't really kind of hit golf balls doing this.
Yeah, I love it.
You're going to start learning how to really kind of take the thumbs off and just use your lower body or upper body and lower body together, kind of like this.
Good. Little turf there, not bad. Well, Stacey, we have any questions yet coming in this morning? We just rolling aboard.
One of the other things that I love as well, and it's just more for your feel than anything else, and just being able to, and Andy's seen me do this before as well, is either go just right hand or just left hand, actually doing both, hitting 5 or 6 shots where you can feel like, basically your right hand just locks in place and you're going to move your shoulders. I'll hit shots at our producers back there, but letting the arm, you're going to feel in a big hurry. Look, the club's going to have some nice swing to it. You're going to feel more weight of the club head. You're going to let that thing swing. It's going to be hard to be in a hurry to hit shots. Maybe more for tempo than anything else. It's just letting people feel what each hand is doing individually. The left hand's going to feel like more lean. I guess if you're getting in this way, you're going to feel a little bit more lean with that one-handed shot. I'm going to step in.
Yeah, let's see.
Where I hit one like this. But this is one that you can work on that's not this way. This is what we all want to do, and I'm the same. I just try to feel as solid as I can with the back of that left wrist and let the club and arm just swing naturally. And when you do, I think you got a great shot to hit good shots.
For sure. I mean, again, one-arm slings are like vitamins for your golf swing. Yeah, they're never going to hurt you. I mean, to be honest, right? You can just go left arm, right arm, and just kind of goof around sometimes, and sometimes it kind of, frees you up to kind of be creative a little bit with it as well.
Ooh, off the flag.
I mean, Coach Rob, actually, you coach somebody that only actually chips with one arm.
Yeah. One of the guys I work with plays in the Canadian Tour. Brock McKenzie has just uses his full chipping method, uses just one hand, uses the right hand, he chokes down a little bit on the club, but uses a lot of the shoulders, very little hands, sets up pretty close to the golf ball and just lets that thing rock back and through. Yeah, that's actually nice right there. That was a good shot.
And he's not bad at it. He's won, one time this year already?
Won already one time, but very effective and a very good chipper with the golf ball, even using just one hand. Very unorthodox,
but hey,
it works.
That's why golf is unique and awesome as a sport, because everyone can just do something different.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, do you have any comments or questions at all? If you guys have any, make sure you guys are commenting. They're reading them back to us. Again, I'm Andy. This is Coach Rob here. We're talking about short game today. We're going through some chip shots. Make sure you like this page here. Go share this video. Go like our Instagram, Facebook pages all through the board. And just let us know if you guys have any questions, and we're going through this. Again, we're going to be doing this probably, every 2 weeks or so?
Yeah, close to once a week. We'll be kind of passing out some more information, but we'll have some more content coming down the line is the best way to say that. Coach, let me ask you one question before we get out of the short game. We talk about spin and wedge shots. How do you spin a wedge shot? How do I get more backspin? How do I do what those tour guys do, where they hit down a ton and the ball just checks the ground?
Well, there's three things, right? Speed, contact, and then really good idea in terms of controlling the loft in terms of that. So go ahead, Coach Rob. You can you're right there already.
Talking about it, I'm showing them, so speed's the pace the club swings.
Yeah, so you got to have speed. That's the thing. There has to be some amount of speed. Not crazy amount of speed going that way, but there has to be speed of the golf club traveling down to the shot, which most amateurs suffer with, because most amateurs don't really know how to kind of feel that kind of like lighting a match type feel through the golf ball.
Right, just a little bit of
where the speed, exactly, where the speed's just right at the golf ball, kind of doing that. Number two is contact point. So many people think to spin a shot, they got to do what usually? Hit it high in the face.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They feel like they have to pinch. We hear this a lot.
Pinch it
between the ground and the club face.
Yep, and it's
biggest myth in golf.
Yeah, I mean, hitting down does not necessarily create more spin at all times. It usually only affects one thing. It's usually launch angle.
Right. So contact point. We're looking for
dead center of that club face. Looking any type of here. These striper range balls not going to spin nearly as much as a Titleist or a TaylorMade or a Scottsdale ball.
Our students can though.
So they're looking for middle of the club face in your chip shots. Probably, I'm not going to say the most important, right up there for me. Got to hit it solid.
Yeah, hit it solid. And sometimes even the more spinnier ones are almost like lower on the face, kind of like thinny type shots.
Yeah, I would agree. A little bit still on the grooves. Mm-hmm. It gets a little deeper down the rabbit hole of gear effect and what the club does, and moving in quick motion.
Because, I mean, we've all seen that. I mean, I remember, I think I was 16. I watched someone at Chicago. They called it the Weston Open at that time. Oh,
yeah, you're good.
They called it I think it was the Western Open at the time.
Western Open, yeah, Cog Hill.
And I forget who it was, but I think it was maybe KJ Choi. He hit this shot, and it looked like he thinned it. And I was like, oh, that's going way over the green. And it literally landed right next to the hole and just stopped.
Yeah.
Going okay, so one, you got to be really skilled at doing this. That's usually the one you better practice it a lot. And number two, it's kind of a risky shot. I mean, I would say adding spin to a golf shot is harder to do than trying to take spin off sometimes, especially around the green.
Yeah, I would say playing days, very rarely did I ever try to do anything different with my golf swing to add spin.
Right.
And I would say that if I'm hitting practice shots on the practice green and I see a ball kind of bounce once and check, then I know if I do that again on the golf course, I can expect the same result. So I'm not trying to put more spin. I'm just using the technique that we just talked about. Great solid contact, great landing point, and that ball is going to do it on its own with great technique.
Right. So I think, again, if you want to spin a golf shot, you got to have speed.
Okay.
Don't try hitting down more on it to actually create that speed.
Right.
You're
not talking like this, right?
Yeah, I don't want you guys getting the idea of trying to have tons of forward shaft lean and trying to pinch that ground, like we always say, like I hit more down on it to do that. It's almost sometimes the opposite. Like you're almost trying to take loft away and try and be as shallow as you can a little bit that way. Just enough so you can have enough loft. So obviously a 50-degree wedge probably would not be the best choice for trying to hit some spinny shots.
Agreed.
This is maybe you kind of use something like a 60 or a 56 and learn how to take a shallow strike, but taking loft away to create that optimal 40 to 45 degree kind of little launch angle if we go with that.
And he's talking 40, 45 degrees. He's talking about the angle. If this is 90, I think this would be 0. 40 to 45 degrees of delivered loft. is going to create probably the most amount of spin. If you have a 60-degree lob wedge and you're way open with the face, it doesn't cause any friction at impact, right?
Right.
So the more that thing gets in this area, the better. So.
And the last piece is use the right golf ball. Like if you're using a Titleist Noodle or a Nike Mojo golf ball, like I know we all use this because they're cheap balls.
Top Flight XL?
Top Flight XL is probably not going to work. Usually a softer multi-piece ball will probably be better for spinning shots.
Linda, you got something for us?
Why don't we just say, hey, if you're watching right now, comment your name in the comment box.
Yeah, why don't do that? Yeah, so if you guys are watching right now, say what's up to us. So we want to know where you guys are watching from. I think last time we had someone watching from Indiana, some people watching from some we had some locals, but somewhere in Indiana. I think that was our furthest one we saw watching.
Talking about Crooked Stick coming up this week. That was a couple weeks ago. So yeah, if you're watching, you're tuned in, fire something, let us know you're out there. We appreciate you stopping by and saying hi to us, watching what we do.
Yeah, hopefully we're making someone's lunch hour pretty entertaining right now.
If you're at a sandwich shop and you're eating a bag of chips and drinking a drink and you're scrolling through your phone and reading an article or two, maybe you're watching a little live golf action here. Again, my name is Rashell. This is Andy Patnou. We are at the TOURAcademy TPC Scottsdale. This is where we teach. So if you're coming to see us, we will be around this area and working on your golf games.
It is hard to beat our short game facility here at TPC Scottsdale. I think that's probably one thing I think we always get told, man, I wish I can come out here and chip and practice all day long.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think that's why most people don't practice it, because most short game facilities just aren't really that fun. Like here we can have so much fun. There's so many shots we can hit. But again, if you guys are watching this, give us a shout out. We'll give a shout out to you, and let us know if you guys have any questions.
Cool.
Want to see if you can hit a spinning one for him?
Ooh, spinning one?
Let's see if you can do it. Coach Rob's really good at this. Remember, Coach Rob played on tour for a year. He was one of the only guys, probably in a long time, that has actually had a European Tour card and a PGA Tour card, and actually played you played it all year doing that stuff, right?
At the same time, yeah. All right, checker. You can see the ball spin in the air. That wasn't as good as it could be. And again, I'm not trying to do anything different. I got a little bit of forward lean like Andy's talking about. I always call it Frankenstein, where you no hands. You just feel like you're very wooden with your hands, very set, and just using your shoulders. Let that club just rock back and rock through.
That wasn't bad there.
Better, a little bit thin. That might be a little more speed. I think I might have got a little more traction, but not bad.
Yeah, but it honestly, from here to here, it's pretty tough to spin a shot. I mean, and I don't know why you'd ever want to do anything crazy spin from here to there, unless you're playing at Augusta National and you're landing on a slope like that. But again, most of the time, I would say you guys don't try spinning shots. Always have your ball releasing to the hole, to be honest.
Your technique, solid contact, consistent trajectory. Maybe one last thing of just landing the ball in the same spot every time. If you could just sit and I'm going to grab this putter right here. Why don't you hit a couple of shots?
Okay.
Talk to him about landing point.
So we want to make sure, honestly, the secret of being a good chipper is controlling the pace of the ball and then getting an idea for where you want to land it and then actually landing it on the spot that you want to do.
These sticks are great. Home Depot.
You can lay mailbox. Yeah, just go to the mailbox department. What, they're $3 or something like that. All you guys watching in the cold climate, I mean, those are snow markers that we put at the edge of the driveway so the snowplow doesn't run into the edge of it or your mailbox, whatever it is.
This would be the edge of the couch that would be just in front of the TV while you're watching the NFL start tonight. Those are going to be just fine.
So see, I haven't really practiced this in a whole while, and I played actually 2 weeks ago, and this is a spot of my game that wasn't really good. So I'm going to try it, just land it just past that orange stick. Ooh, perfect.
Good there.
Right, and that, to me, I reward myself because I did that. I mean, I actually picked the spot I want to do. I felt the length of swing that kind of matched to where I want to see it happen. I think what starts happening to most people when they start trying to pick a spot, they lose kind of where they're trying to actually have their golf swing kind of go.
Great.
Like you see so many guys where we say, hey, land it short. And then all of a sudden we see two type of motions. We either see something like this, where they don't even hit the golf ball because they're trying to hit so short on it.
Okay.
Or you kind of see this one, obviously, where it kind of goes backwardly long and forward, and they kind of chunk it, and they don't really have an idea for the speed they're trying to do.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, do you see most guys that kind of struggle with this, and ladies as well, they're really trying to change the speed of the club a whole lot as opposed to just changing kind of length of swing.
Yeah, so great tempo, rocking back, rocking through, being very consistent. Look, this stuff, it's the minutia of what I would say getting good at golf. It's taking the time to be very deliberate with your practice, what you're doing, why you're doing it. It's amazing how it transfers. You spend 20 minutes hitting shots like this, and then you see like a ball marker, see something on the golf golf course where you want to land a golf ball, it's all you have to do. As soon as it hits there, you've done your job. Basically, you got to fly from point A to point B. Everything else is sort of out of your control, and that's all you can really do with chipping. You're just trying to fly from point A to point B.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there's not one tour player that does not think about picking a landing spot and then actually hitting that landing spot.
Look, it may not be a ball mark, but it's a darn specific area of like, hey, I want to fly this ball with this club on this trajectory to this spot. I mean, there's a lot of ingredients there, but
Yeah, I mean, I always think about back home, like what piece of Patnou do I want to land on?
Love that.
And the smallest piece of Patnou so it doesn't bounce left or right or straight, wherever it goes.
so I don't know about you, but it's crazy when you get very specific with your intention. It's amazing how many times you actually end up doing it, right? Where you land a shot right on the money, right? Where you're like, wow, I actually tried to hit just like you just did. Like,
Yep. I walked myself through it.
Yeah, I'm going to try to hit this over this stick and land it here, and almost, it's like, man, you just did a perfect job of.
Yeah, you could be the Tommy gun chipper that just goes, or you can be the sniper chipper that was really trying to focus on what he's trying to do.
Right. Take your
So
time,
take your
work
time.
through it. Be aware if the club lands early, if you're landing a little bit thin, adjust always, have fun with your practice. Pretty good, a lot of power there.
Coach Rob, your club's really long. I like it then.
I got a half inch
Over on the length of my clubs.
Which is
makes
full
it
inch
feel a little bit
different.
heavy, a little bit different.
So again, a chip shot, and we're talking about this here. Really focus on your landing area. Really focus on the pace of the golf ball that you want to do, and just be creative a little bit, but don't go being too cute. We have to do, try and make a big long backswing for no reason, or
Agreed.
I mean, always just try and keep the ball on the ground as often as possible with like a 7-iron, a pitching wedge, a 9-iron, or a gap wedge, and usually keep that 60 in the bag unless you really have to get the ball up in the air really fast. All right. So again, that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys are liking this little video, sharing this video. Go like our pages at TPC Scottsdale Tour Academy and TPC Scottsdale. Go like Rob's Twitter feed. He posts every single day at Rob Rashell Golf, or is it Rob Rashell,
Just
right?
Rob Rashell.
Just Rob Rashell. So you'll find it.
It'll be in the notes underneath the video. You'll be able to see a lot of this stuff. I think Melinda and Stacey will add all that stuff in there, everything you need.
And, again, thanks for watching, guys. We're going to be doing this again every 2 weeks or so. And Coach Rob and I are even talking about doing like a Monday series after golf events.
Yeah, I mean, you got the PGA Tour event using TrackMan and maybe taking a look at what guys are doing down the stretch on Sunday when it matters. Maybe recreating a little bit.
Yeah, having some
walking
fun
you
that
through what
way.
they're thinking about, maybe what they're feeling, and then technically what happens in a golf shot when maybe somebody blasts one into the trees, or maybe somebody stops 1 to 2 feet down the stretch. Maybe we'll try to take you through that. Distance, yardage, golf ball, all those things. We'll run you through. Maybe not as long as these, but they're fun to kind of look at what the best players in the world do, and using some of our technology to do that.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see everyone soon, and appreciate you guys watching.
Thank you.